You've been going to the gym, you're lifting, you're eating more protein, you've even started meal prepping. But you look in the mirror and you don't like you lift. It's pretty frustrating, ain't it? And you're not alone. So this video is going to break down the real science-backed way for you to build some muscle. And we're going to be going deep into how much protein you really need, whether meal timing matters or not for you, the role carbs actually play with you building muscle. Yes, you need carbs, and what realistic results look like for you. And the most important thing, which is progressive overload. You hear it thrown around all the time on social media. We're going to actually talk about it. Protein is the foundation for building muscle, but here's what most people get wrong. They don't eat enough of it to grow. And based on current research, the ideal intake for building muscle right now is about 1.2 to 1.6 grams per kilogram of body weight per day. Make sure you do the conversion. And if you're an advanced lifter or dieter and training at high intensity, you might benefit from pushing it up a little bit higher, maybe like 2 or more grams per kilogram. But going past that, it's not gonna give you many more results. Now, here's something that a lot of people ignore. It's not how much protein you eat, it's really how you spread it out. And muscle protein synthesis, that's what we're talking about. This is how your body builds new muscle tissues. It happens at day and at night, and it spikes every single time you eat protein. Now, pounding in 100-something grams of protein in one sitting, it works, but it's not the most optimal idea. Instead, the best thing for you to do is try to get 4 meals where you spread out about 30 to 40 grams of protein in there. And that's gonna cover the base of most people who are trying to build muscle. So for example, if you weigh like 180 grams, no, if you weigh 180 pounds, not grams, you're gonna wanna go for about like 40 grams or so per meal. That's gonna give you about 160 grams of protein per day. Your total daily intake does matter. Yeah, you're not gonna have a perfect 40 grams per day, but try to be optimal. That's what it's all about. If you wanna build muscle in the most fast way, this is what we gotta do. And it's more digestible, pun intended. By the way, if you're enjoying these kind of tips, instead of waiting for my next video, just join my Body Recomp newsletter below. I'll be emailing you the best tips to lose fat and build muscle every single morning. So click the first link in the description below here, subscribe for free, and let's get back to the video. Next, y'all, let's talk about meal timing. Have you heard people say, you gotta eat within 30 minutes of working out, or else you're gonna mess everything up, you wasted a workout? That's the anabolic window that they're talking about. And while there is some logic to it, the truth is the window is actually bigger than you think. And recent studies are showing us that as long as you're getting adequate protein throughout your day, then, and especially within a few hours of the workout, before or after, then you're pretty much covered as far as the protein you need. So yes, if you lift in the morning though, if you lift in the afternoon, evening, and you haven't eaten for 6 hours, you need to eat something after, okay? Definitely don't miss that. Now, you shouldn't be eating it shouldn't have been 6 hours and you ain't ate nothing. And you in the gym talking about, I want to build some muscle. I don't believe you. All right. And also, y'all, you don't gotta have the shake like while you're in the gym locker room and you're sweating and people like, you ain't gotta do all that, y'all. If it's a 31-minute mark and you're just not getting your protein in, you're gonna be okay. All right. Now, anyways, let's talk more about like fueling and with carbs and stuff like that. So I want you to focus on your total protein and your meal distribution and stop over obsessing about the exact timing. That said, eating a high protein carb and eating a protein and carb meal 60 to 90 minutes before you lift can really help improve your performance. So if you're used to lifting in the morning with nothing in your stomach, then grab some eggs, toast, or maybe like banana with protein, simple, effective, right? And you could also do something small, like maybe even have protein shake in your favorite piece of fruit, right? Do something like that. And that's gonna give you some good fuel for that workout. Now, why are carbs important for you to build muscle? So the thing is, protein isn't just the building block of muscle, right? You need some carbs to fuel the muscle, okay? So how you gonna push that weight and build muscle if it ain't no fuel in the tank? So a lot of people think that carbs are just for like endurance athletes or, professional big backs, or even worse, they think that if they cut the carbs out, they're gonna get lean and shredded. That's a huge mistake because carbs play 2 massive roles when it comes to building muscle. The first thing, you're literally putting the fuel in the car. You can't put the foot on the gas without gas in the car, all right? And 2, you're sparing protein from being used for energy, which means when you eat carbs, your body stores them as glycogen, okay? And that's your muscle's primary fuel source when you're lifting. It's pretty intense for your body. And when your glycogen is low, your work performance drops. You lift less, which means you get tired faster, which means your recovery slows down. But when the carbs are available, you're able to lift heavier. You can train longer. You can recover better. You're not as tired and having headaches in the gym. And that muscle protein sparing effect is because you have carbs. Now, the carb sparing effect, when you eat enough carbs, your body is less likely to break down protein for energy. That means that the protein that you're eating can actually go towards building new muscle in your body, not just fueling your workouts. That process is called gluconeogenesis. So have you ever been working out and then all of a sudden you just feel like flushed, super drained out of nowhere? You pretty much ran out of carbs that you ate, you ran out of glycogen, and now you have no fuel, and now your body is turning to tear down muscle tissue for energy through that process. This is why low carb lifters often plateau, because their body is chronically stressed from being underfueled and wasting protein. So how many carbs do you actually need? This really depends on your training value, but a good general rule of thumb is to eat about 10 to 20 grams of carbs before you work out, and pretty much you should be good. Now, if you're training harder than that, then you probably have an idea, hopefully, of how many carbs you should have in. So you might need to go 10 to 20 or even plus more. You just do that at your discretion. If you're going like 20 grams of carbs and protein and you're working out and you're in the gym for like 90 minutes, yeah, you might need to consider some intra-workout fuel or maybe a little bit heavier of a meal before you go in, so you have enough energy to sustain for that entire duration of that workout. Now, how fast can you realistically build muscle? So if you're a beginner, you're in a good spot because you can damn near do anything, but with proper training, nutrition, and sleep, you can gain 1 to 2 pounds of muscle per month. Now, that's not going to last that long, maybe 6 months, maybe a little bit longer. Honestly, no more than 2 years, but that's what we call those newbie gains. And take a full advantage of that if you're just getting started in your journey. That's also why you'll see people do like random programs online, and other trainers watching. I know you get this too, but you're seeing people do stuff that they shouldn't be doing and they're getting results anyway, and they think, oh, that's because of that exercise regimen. No, it's just the newbie gains. But I guess another one bites the dust. We'll do better next time educating the newbie on what they should and should be doing. Now, if you're intermediate, trying to gain weight and gain muscle weight, and you've been in the gym for a while, you're probably going to expect to gain anywhere from 0.5 to 1 pound of muscle per month. And my advanced lifters like myself, you're probably going to get anywhere from 0.25 to 0.75, depending upon genetics, program, and so on and so forth. There's more diminishing returns the deeper you get into your fitness journey and you reach the upper limit of how much muscle you can actually put onto your frame. Now, don't forget, muscle is more dense than fat. So for my ladies that are watching this as well too, that means even though you're packing on muscle, you're not going to look like a meathead. All right. Muscle, that's the sexy weight you want. You want to put muscle to add to your frame. All right. This is why Body Recomp is so powerful. You might not see the scale move, but you're losing fat and gaining muscle at the same time. Your body's going to look completely different because this is a pound of fat and this is like a pound of muscle right here. And that's where a lot of people screw up. They expect 10 pounds of muscle going to make them look like, no, it's not it. And another thing is that people think that they're going to gain 10 pounds of muscle in 30 days, and that's just not how you build muscle either. Muscle building, it's actually a slow process. All right. Now look, we're almost there, y'all. All right. Now let's talk about the most important concept of muscle building, which is progressive overload. You probably heard this term thrown around all the time. This means you do more over time, more weight. It could be more reps. It could be more sets, more volume, more time under tension, more total work. It could be less rest time, whatever it is, more intensity. But just don't keep doing the same 3 sets of 10 on the same machine, the same month. Like, just stop. We got to change something up. Or the same home workout, same Pilates class, wondering why you're not changing. Your body adapts to what you're doing. And you just got to push that line a little bit further each time to progressively overload. So here's how you're going to do it the right way and overload yourself. You need to be tracking your workouts, all right? Your weights, your reps, and preferably how long you're actually resting between your sets. And increase something. Maybe add 5 pounds every 2 weeks or something. Like add 2 more reps, add another set, add a drop set, shorten the rest time. Just do something. Make sure you prioritize your form and your tempo. Control the lowering phase of each rep. And quick side note, you build a lot of muscle by controlling the weight. We call it the eccentric portion or the negative. You don't got to be a beast mode every single session, but you need to be consistent and consistently overloading yourself with the right kind of periodization. And if you hit a plateau, we'll just change one more variable and keep going. Or heck, get a trainer, by clicking the link in the bio for one-on-one coaching. But in all seriousness, I've been coaching for 13 years. I've worked with thousands of people, so hit the link in the bio if you want some help. And if you want to build muscle in a smart, sustainable, science-backed way, here is the breakdown formula. Eat 1.2 to 1.6 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. Spread that across 4 meals, all right? You can do the shakes. You don't have to, but they do help. Use carbs, all right? Don't fear the carbs. They're not your villain. And expect anywhere from like 1 to 2 pounds of muscle gain per month if you're new, and less if you're advanced. It's going to definitely go down. And train anywhere from 3 to 5 times per week and focus on progressive overload. If you stick to this, you're going to build the body of your dreams. And that's not just stronger, but it's healthier, it's linear, it endures, it's resilient, and it looks good as hell. Now, building muscle in the gym is cool, but if you don't eat right, you're not going to really cut the fat off and see that sexy ass body you're looking for. And lucky for you, I have a full video breakdown on how to create a full fat loss meal plan. So click this video right here or right here, and I'm going to teach you how to get your with a fat loss meal plan. I'll see you in that video. Peace.